Hey guys, it's Olympus the Loomer here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I will be showing you guys how to make this Loomigurumi Otter, which is designed by me. I think it turned out super cute. I really love how this turned out. And yeah, this is what we're going to be making today. And otter. I actually made this after I made the otter, like the first otter. You can find the tutorial on that on my channel as well. I just didn't have enough time to like post it on my Instagram, and because I was too busy. So yeah, but right now I'm filming it today, and also I was actually planning on filming this guy yesterday, but I was not able to take a good thumbnail, and usually when I film tutorials I usually take the thumbnails first before I move on with the tutorial, so that's why. And I was like, okay, let's just film this tomorrow. And I think it's also a good decision because I was able to inform people from Instagram if they want to make a tutorial for this, you know, because I made a design since I haven't posted this yet. So yeah, this is what we're gonna be making today, and without further ado, let's get started with the materials that you guys are gonna be needing. So the materials that you guys are gonna need to make this otter are any type of hook, and as usual, I'm just going to be using my Rainbow Loom hook. You guys are also gonna need a C-clip or stitch marker and bands as well. So we are going to use 3 colors. So for today, I will be using this beige from the mixed skin tone pack, and that's going to be the lighter brown for the head part. And then for this dark brown part, I will be using today caramel for that. So I have my caramel here. And lastly, we are gonna need some black bands as well for the nose part. Then other than that, we are also gonna need some safety eyes, and we are going to use 3 of them. But if you do not have any safety eyes, you can just use bands as well. So for the eyes, you want to grab 2 of your black bands and wrap it once and wrap it again and put it onto your light brown color, and then slip knot it after we do the facial features. Then for the nose, you can just use 1 band and wrap it once and wrap it one more time again, and just slip knot it to wherever you want it. Then you just add this here in the nose. So today for the eyes, I will be using 2 8mm for the eyes, and then 1 6mm for the nose. I have my backings here, and if you're wondering why I only have 2 backings, that's because I don't add backings for my 6mm ones, because if you add, there's a tendency that it just sinks in, so we don't want that. And lastly, you're also gonna need some stuffing, only a little bit, and it's really squishy. I really love it. And yeah, this is what we are going to be making today. I hope you make one. I think it is so cute. And without further ado, let's get started with the actual tutorial. And also, you guys, if I did not say this earlier, band count will be in the description box below. So let's get started with the tutorial. So to get started, we are just going to do our head to the body first. Then after that, we are just going to add the ears, the legs, and our tail too. So we are just going to do them all at once. No separate things, all in one. So yeah, so you want to grab your lighter brown color, and for me it's going to be this beige, the second to the lightest shade of skin tone from the mixed skin tone packs, and I'm just going to put them up a bit so that it doesn't distract you. So sorry guys for the background noises as well. What we are going to do is a magic ring of 5 stitches. So that's our first row for the head down to the body. So how to do a magic ring? If you do not know how to make a magic ring, I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to do right now. So first, you just want to grab your hook, then you want to grab your band, and you want to put it onto your hook. And after you put it onto your hook, you want to grab this bottom part and you want to twist it going to the left. And with this twisted part, you want to put it onto your hook. Like so. And you have something like this on your hook. You should have something that looks like this. And what you're going to do next is just grab, so as you can see, you have like 2 loops onto your hook. One in the right and one on the left. So you want to grab this left part. And you want to twist it again. And as usual with this twisted side, you want to put it onto your hook. And now you have something that looks like this. And if you did not know what this is called, it is a triple loop cap band. And once you already have a triple loop cap band, you want to grab your another band, the same color. I'm going to tell you when to use a darker brown color later as we go along. And what you're going to do is you just want to slide this cap band onto that band. All 3 loops. And after that, you just want to reclaim this other end on your hook. Now you have something that looks like this. What you're going to do now is you want to push this right one over this one on the left. Or dropping it. And after you are done with that, you want to go back to your triple loop cap band. And then grab one band, and you want to pull this band onto the triple loop cap band only. So onto the triple loop cap band only, not including this one. And with this other end, you want to put it back to your hook. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. What you're going to do is you want, starting from now and onwards, you want to keep dropping these 2 right ones over this one on the left. 2 right ones over the left, and after that you just want to go back to your cap band, triple loop cap band, and do the same thing. So grab one band and you want to slide it through the cap band only, then reclaim the other end, and again drop these 2 right ones over this one on the left. Let's do that again until we have 5 stitches. So one band, slide through the cap band only, reclaim the other end, and stitch. Go back to your cap band. One band, slide through the cap band only, reclaim the other end, drop the 2 right ones over this one on the left. So now, let's try to count our stitches to really make sure that we have 5 stitches. So what are the stitches? They are the teardrop shaped ones that's going in a circular motion. So like this, teardrop shapes that is going on a circular motion. And again, teardrop shapes that's going on a circular motion, not forward, not sidewards either. So teardrop shapes that's going on a circular motion. So let's count how many we have. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this band on your hook counts as the 5th. So once you have 5 stitches, you can just take your C-clip and put it to the band that's on your hook, your C-clip or stitch marker. And that's how you make a magic ring. If that was confusing, I recommend trying to rewind that and slow the video down, or you can find a video of mine. I did a Loomigurumi basics video, so that might help. And I also made a video on how to make a magic ring on the loom, so you can check that out too if you want. But next row is going to be an increase around. And if you guys did not know how to do an increase, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So little background about increases. It's putting 2 stitches instead of 1 in each stitch. So we are going to put 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 all the way around. So what we are going to do is we're just going to go to our first stitch, which is this one, our first teardrop shape that's going on a circular motion. Then grab one band, and we want to slide this band onto that stitch only, the 2 loops. Then reclaim the other end. And just like the magic ring, you want to push the 2 right ones over the one on the left. So that's 1. And since we want to put 2 stitches in each, we want to go back to that same stitch and do the same thing. So one band, slide it through that stitch only, reclaim the other end, and push these two right ones over this one on the left. And that is 2 stitches in 1 stitch. And that's what we are going to do until we reach this band with a C-clip on. So 2 stitches in each stitch. And after this row, we are going to end up with 10 stitches. Because like 5 multiplied by 2 is equal to 10. So yeah. And this design is really easy. So yeah. And it turned out so cute as well. And also, you guys, I'm planning on like making a mini version of the axolotl. So if you're on this part, you can comment below if you want me to make a mini version of my axolotl. So I'm done doing my increases around, and after you are done, you can just take your C-clip off and put it to the band that's on your hook. So now let's count how many teardrop shapes we have that's going on a circular motion. Again, we should have a total of 10 stitches. So do we really have 10 stitches? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 is the one that's on your hook. So I have 10, and I hope you have 10 as well. If you do not have 10, try to do things again and make sure you have 10. Make sure you increased around. Our next row is going to be stitch increase. So stitch increase all the way around. So our odd numbers will have a stitch and our even numbers will have an increase. So let's do that. So our first stitch will have a single, so just one, and then go to the next stitch, and this stitch number 2 will have an increase. So 2 stitches in this stitch. Third stitch with a single again. Our fourth with an increase. Fifth with a single. Number 6 with an increase. Number 7 with a stitch. Number 8 with an increase. Number 9 with a stitch. Just a single. And number 10 is going to have an increase. And after this row, we should have a total of 15 stitches. So remove your C-clip and put it to the band that's on your hook. So let's count how many stitches we have. We should have a total of 15. Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 is the one that's on your hook. And that's the rest of our next rows are just going to be single rows around. So we are not going to do any increases. Okay, so here comes the part where it's very repetitive. So we just want to add 1 in each stitch for some rows. So for the next 4 rows, we want to do single rows around. And that's a total of 4 stitches. And if you guys are wondering why I have 4 bands in front of me, so basically each band represents a row. So this one represents the first row, the next second row, third, and then fourth. So that we won't get lost while we are doing our row. So what I do is when I do my row, I grab one band and stitch it, then do the rest, then the second row, and so on and so forth. So for this row, I'm just going to do the first row with you. So you're gonna have to pause the video and make yourself 3 more rows. So that's a total of 4 rows. Because if I do all 4 rows with you, that will just make this video so long, and we do not want that. So let's just do our first row. Again, I'm going to do my first row with you, so you're gonna have to pause the video to do the rest of the rows. So just go to your first stitch, and every first stitch is where I grab my plotting bands and stitch them like normal. And once I grab the one band that represents one row, I'm just going to go and move on and grabbing the bands that I have plotted, not these. So yeah, and every after the rows we are still going to end up with 15 stitches. So this design is really easy, and we're almost done too. So yeah, tiny things cost us tiny bands and tiny time as well. So yeah, but the big things are like more complex compared to the smaller ones. But the tendency with the big creations are there's like many space for you to add like things that you want to add. Like there's just many possibilities. So but either ways, I think I love making either small or big designs. I think they're worth the time and worth the effort too. Anyways, I do not know what I'm talking there, but after you are done with your row, you're just going to take your C-clip off, put it to the band that's on your hook. So let's count first before we proceed with our next 3 rows. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 is the one that's on my hook. So pause the video and let's make our 3 rows and come back to me when you're done. Hey guys, so I'm back after I did my additional 3 rows. So that is a total of 4 rows, and this is how yours should look like so far. And now let's add our eyes and our nose. So what you're going to do is just take your hook from this band and you want to clip this C-clip to the next stitch. Like so. And what you're going to do is make sure that your C-clip is at the back. And let's add our eyes first. So where we add the eyes, we want to count 3 rows from the bottom. So the rows are, how to count the rows, they are the horizontal, like these horizontal lines represent a row. So we have 1 horizontal row here, so that's row 1, 2, and 3. And that's where we are going to add our eyes. So 1, 2, and 3. So 3 rows up. So 1, 2, and the 3rd row is where we add our eye. And we want to count 4 stitches. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is the place where we want to add our next eye. So just in line with our eye. Again, 3 rows up, so that's 1, 2, and 3, and you want to put your eye and count 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your next eye. And what you're going to do now is you want to put your nose. But before we put the nose, let's just add our backings for our safety eyes. So if you think that your eyes, you like how it looks, so you can just put your backings on. I'm satisfied with how this guy's looking, so I'm just putting my backing on. So for the nose, you want to count 2 stitches in each eye. So 1, 2, and 1, 2, and this is where we are going to add our nose. So nose, and then 1, 2, and 1, 2. So that's the nose. So let's just grab our black bands, and we are gonna use 2 bands for that. And let's add our nose part. So what we're going to do is we want to just take our nose first for our nose safety eye, and you must know where you add the black bands for the straight line here. That. So this is where we add our nose. So we want to put our hook there, and then what we are going to do is just grab our black band and we go down 1 stitch. So we just want to pull it down. like so. So you put your first end here, then you're just going to grab it down. Then what you're going to do next is you want to slip knot this, but not too tight, and then just grab some stitches inside and slip knot again with the black band. And that is how you add the nose. And after that, you can just put this nose back in there. And that's how you do the nose. I hope that was understandable. If that was confusing for you, try to rewind and slow down the video. That might help. And yeah, for this guy here, this end, you can just hide it onto some stitches. And that's how you do it, you guys. So now let's proceed with our rows. I changed my mind. I'm just going not to do that. So yeah. So now let's proceed with our rows. And starting from this row onwards, we are just going to use our darker brown color. So I'm just gonna grab some of my caramel bands. And we want to do some single rows around, and that's going to be for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want to do 6 rows of single around in our dark brown color. So let's do that. I'm going to do the first row with you, so you're gonna have to pause the video again, make 5 other rows, and come back to me. And we're just going to close our body and add the tail, make the tail and add in the legs, arms, and the ears. So unclip this C-clip, just unclip it, and put this band with a C-clip onto your hook. So what you're going to do is just normal. You want to go to the next stitch, and since this is a different color, I suggest making a color change. How to do that is you want to grab your band, slide it through everything, including that stitch, and reclaim it at the end, and just stitch like normal. And that's going to happen on that stitch only. And we are just going to do our rounds until we reach the band with the C-clip on. And after this row, we are still gonna have a total of 15 stitches. So let's do that, shall we? So 1 in each stitch. Really easy. So we are going to do this for a total of 6 rows again. I tend to repeat things over and over again because I get too afraid that, you know, everyone might forget what to do. So like I remind every single time. So I'm on to my last stitch now. I'm just gonna grab my C-clip and put it to the band that's on my hook. And as you can see, guys, here, there is this stitch that is not actually a stitch. That's just part of this stitch. So that's a teardrop shape, yes, but it is going forward, not in a circular motion. So what we're going to do is go to this one that's going on a circular motion and do our next row. Like so, and that's because we did a color change. That's why. So yeah, I'm just going to do this row again with you. So yeah, since, you know, we did a color change, and that's what happens when you do a color change. There is a stitch, which is a part of a stitch that looks like a stitch but isn't a stitch. It is called a slip stitch, if you do not know. How many stitches did I say? Comment below. Just kidding. But yeah, class is almost starting for me, so that's not exciting. Not excited for that. My class starts on Monday already, so yeah. And after you're done with your row, you're still gonna have a total of 15 stitches, so you can count that. But I'm just going to proceed now with my rows. So pause the video, make yourself 4 more rows, and come back to me when you're done. So we did 2 rows together, So we just have to do 4 rows, so that is still a total of 6 stitches. So do your 4 rows of camera and come back to me when you're done. Hey guys, so I'm back and I did my additional 4 rows of camera. So again, we did 2 rows together, so that's a total of 6 rows still. And to make sure, you know, if we really have 6 rows, so let's count how many vertical lines we have. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's a total of 6 rows. Now, we want to start decreasing. So let's start decreasing. So this row we want to do stitch decrease. So if you do not know how to do a decrease, or if you do not know what a decrease is, it's stitching 2 stitches together to make 1 stitch. So that means when we stitch 2 together, 1 stitch is removed. So yeah, so let's do our single first. So let's do 1 single, and our next stitch is a decrease. And how you do a decrease? So what I do when I do a decrease is I grab the front stitch of the first stitch that I'm doing a decrease on, and the back stitch of the second stitch that I'm going to decrease on, and I'm just going to stitch them together. And that's how I do a decrease. And back with my single again, single and decrease again, front loop of the first stitch, back loop of the second stitch, and stitch them together all the way around. Stitch and then decrease. And after this row we are going to stuff. So stitch again and decrease, and stitch and decrease. After this row too, we are gonna have 10. So once you're on your last decrease, you're also going to grab the band with C-clip on. You're just gonna take your C-clip off. So take your C-clip off and just stitch, just decrease, and just put your C-clip back onto the band that's on your hook. So what you are going to do now is we want to stuff, right? So let's just put this band with a C-clip onto the body of our hook, and let's add our stuffing. And we do not want a lot, we just want to add like just the right amount so that it holds its shape. So I used this polyfill stuffing. Where'd that come from? The stuffing. But yeah, just keep pushing your stuffing inside. And again, you do not want a lot. I'm just going to put more. So let me put more. Only a few though. This one. This much. And putting it inside of my otter. And my space here has a lot of stuffing, so I'm just gonna blow it up. So yeah. After you are done with your stuffing, this row we are just going to decrease around and close. So let's do our decrease around. Right now I'm pulling some stitches, but let's decrease around and just slip knot at the end. So decrease around, decrease. Again, once you're done with your stuffing, you can just decrease everything, decrease everything. But don't worry, if you are grabbing some of the stuffing, you can just take them off later. But right now, just do your decrease around. So you're onto your last decrease, you're just going to take your C-clip off. You're not going to need that anymore. And after you decrease around, you want, what I normally do to close, I go to the first stitch, grab the front loop, and another stitch in the middle, and I just decrease them. And slip knot, and I tuck this slip knot inside my body. And that's how you do it. Now we can proceed on adding our arms, legs, and our arms, legs, ears, and tail. So I'm gonna be back. So let's do our ears first, and that's this too. And they are going to be on top of the head. Anyways, let's do the ears first. I'm going to show you in a bit how and where to attach them. So what you're going to do is just grab your body color here. So this is the head and this is the body. So grab one band, put your hook, and twist it 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, only 4 times. And that will give you 5 loops on your hook. So twist a band 4 times on your hook. Just make sure you have 5 loops. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one band and slide this 5 loops on your hook to that band. And after that, you want to just, put this other end onto your finger first, like so. And you want to pick a spot wherever you want to attach it. So what I do is I count 1 stitch and going to the right. So this is the eye, and that's 1 row on top of the eye, and then I count 2. Wait. 1, 2. So 1, 2, and then go 1 stitch to the right. And I just slip knot it. And with this band here, I'm just going to tuck that inside. And that's how you do the ears. So let's do that one more time. So grab a band and wrap it 4 times on your hook, creating 5 loops. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you have 5. Just make sure you have 5 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then once you have 5 loops, you just want to grab one band, slide this band onto that band, slide those 5 loops onto this band. After that, you want to just put this end to your finger first and find a spot as to where you want to attach your other ear. So again, 2 rows up, so this is your eye, then 2 rows, 1, 2, and then 1 row going to the left this time because this is the left ear. And let's just slip knot, shall we? And after we slip knot, we can just take this band in. And that's how you do the ears. And the arms and legs are done the same way too. They are using 2 bands. So watch carefully. Your hook, then you grab 2 bands, put to your hook. Then you want to wrap it once. Then you grab all the loops and wrap it 1 more time. Then you want to grab 1 band and slide this bands on your hook to that band. Very carefully. Then with this end, just put onto your finger for now and find a spot. So we want to add it onto our second row of brown. It should be aligned with the eye. So this is our first row of brown. Our second row is the one below it. And we're just going to grab that, and it should be aligned with your eye. And just slip knot. And that's one arm. And again, with the slip knot part, you can tuck that inside. If you're grabbing some stuffing, you can just either grab them or push them back in. That's how you do the arms and the legs. So again, 2 bands, wrap once on your hook, then grab all the loops and wrap again. Then 1 band, slide this twisted bands onto that band very carefully. Then just put this other end onto your finger first and find the spot where you want to add it. So 2 rows, the second row is the second row of your darker brown color. So this is your first row and this is your second row. Make sure it is aligned with your eye. What you're going to do once you find your spot is just slip knot. And you can just take this slip knot inside. So let's do that 2 more times. So that's our arms there. Now let's do our legs. And as you go along, you can kind of fix them however you like. Just make sure you like how it looks. So I'm just gonna grab more brown bands. And yeah, let's do it. Now grab your hook, and again, 2 of your brown bands or your body color. Twist it once on your hook, grab all the loops and twist it 1 more time. Then grab 1 band and slide this twisted bands onto that band. Sorry about that. Then just put this other end onto your finger. And you're just going to add it. And to add it, we want to count 3 rows. So our arm here, then we want to count 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. And that's where we are going to attach our legs. And by slip knotting. And just put this slip knot onto the body. Like so. Okay, I'm gonna pause because it's noisy. Okay, so I'm back and let's just do that again. So your hook, and grab 2 bands of your body color. Twist it once on your hook, grab all the loops and twist it 1 more time. And grab 1 band and slide this twisted band onto that band. And then put this other end onto your finger for now and just slip knot. So 3 rows from the arm. 1, 2, 3. But we can just align it now. Now that we have attached our first leg, let's just align it and slip knot it. And put the slip knot inside. And that's how you do the arms and the legs. I hope that wasn't confusing, but if that was confusing for you, you can rewind and slow down. And now let's do our tail. The last thing that we have to do, our little tail. So to do the tail, we want to do a magic ring of 3 stitches. So let's do a magic ring of 3 stitches. And I'm gonna go a bit quicker this time since I already showed you guys how to do a magic ring. That's 1. That's 2. And 3. After that, you can take your C-clip and put to the bands on your hook. And we want to do a total of 3 rows. 3 rows of single around. And we are gonna end up with 3 stitches. So let's do 3 rows, and I'm just going to do the 3 rows with you. And this might be too tight. Just make sure that you're grabbing the right stitches. So yeah, after you're done with the row, you can just take it off, the C-clip off, put it to the bands on your hook, and do your second row. And once you're done with your second row, take your C-clip off, put it to the band with the C-clip on. Put it to the band that's on your hook, then do your last row single for the tail. So that's 1. Again, this is so tight, so you you have to take your time finding the stitches and putting your stitches. I'm putting your hook to the right stitches. After you're done, you can just take your C-clip off. Then I want to go to the next stitch, and I grab one band and pull through everything. And what I do is I put this, I'm not gonna slip knot it first, I'm going to put it to my finger, and I'm going to attach it down here by slip knotting. I'm gonna slip knot, and like that. And what you're going to do is grab this band and this band with like the slip knot and put it back to the body. As you can see, it is going sideways, so what we are going to do is we want to slip knot again. So just pick a random stitch near where you place your tail and grab one stitch of your tail and slip knot yet again. Like so, and you are done. We are done, you guys. So, yeah. That is how you make my Loomigurumi Otter. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you understood how to make it. I hope I was understandable throughout the video. And yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to post more tutorials in the future. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, comment whatever you feel. I respond to all your guys' comments. They mean a lot to me and they inspire me to make more videos. And yeah, if you make one, please make one. I'd greatly appreciate it too. If you make one, do not forget to tag me on Instagram. My links will be in the description box below. And use the hashtag Olympus the Loomer. So this has been Olympus the Loomer, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! I love y'all!